Good morning, YouTubers. It is November 8th, and I'm doing a little bit of garden cleanup and prep for spring. I thought I'd show you the results of the compost that I started at the beginning of the year. I threw the leaves in there in the last year, but I mixed in the grass clippings and stuff like that, and now I'm about to empty up the barrel, and I thought I'd show you what everything looks like. Alright, so I got the lid of the barrel open. And here is my lovely looking compost. It is not perfect, but I'm not going for perfection, and it looks really quite nice, to be honest. Totally crumbles up in my hands, smells nice, and I don't know, it's got that forest smell, is the only thing that I would say. But this thing worked really well. I just came out and spun it every once in a while, and now I've got a whole thing of compost. I'm going to empty it out into my wheelbarrow, and we'll take another look. Alright, so I got to show this. I'm a ruthless planner. I believe in planning. When I was making my composter, I took the time to measure my wheelbarrow, and I sized it up perfectly so that when I turn this thing over, everything's going to dump right into my wheelbarrow, and my wheelbarrow fits underneath. Good idea for those of you thinking about making a backyard composter. So here we are with that compost totally emptied out. You see, as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty nice looking stuff there. And over here, I broke it up just a little bit in my hand, but this is all that's left of a pumpkin that I put in there last year. It just kind of crumbles at this point in the game. Kind of amazing how stuff breaks down. I put a whole pumpkin in there, and I'm going to put a couple more in there in just a little bit. We got a couple of roots that didn't break down, but that's all good. They'll trap moisture for me. But other than that, this is going to go right into the bed. So here's that compost now all broken down and put and topped off in my I filled up one section of my little raised bed here and just kind of topped it off. You can see I raised it up by a good margin. Obviously this is a small scale composting arena, but I've got a large compost area in the back for all the plants and stuff, so that's going to continue to grow as I continue the years going, but it just proves that it can be done. Water it, spin it every once in a while, and you'll have some beautiful, beautiful soil coming out. Quick update on the strawberries. They look like they're doing really well. Getting a lot of new leaves coming up here. Little new sprouts coming out. And that tells me that hopefully these guys are happy. And we'll get some strawberries for next year. So now it's here time to fill it up again. Here's my leaves. I double shredded these. I ran them through my mulcher twice, so they're nice and chopped up. And they're going to go right in there. And I've got some kitchen scraps already and some other stuff that I'm going to be throwing in there. We'll see how well it goes. Not much else to report here. I'm thinking about doing some moving around. I might transplant some of my asparagus. I've been reading up on permaculture, and I'm starting to think that maybe having them all in one spot is not the best thing. It might actually help me time my harvest too. So as opposed to planting everything in one spot, I might have a bunch of them here and a bunch of them there and a bunch of them here and a bunch of them there, so that they get ready at different times. And then that way I'll be able to stagger my harvest. I'm really starting to think about how do I stagger my harvest better. That's kind of my goal for next year. And so just to finish that thought, my concept is if I put them in different parts of the house and different parts of my landscape, then I'm potentially going to be taking advantage of different microclimates. So some places will get a little bit more sun, some places will be a little bit warmer, some places will get a little bit less sun, and some places will be a little bit cooler. And so if I do that, then hopefully the concept is that it's going to make it so that the parts that are warmer and get more sun are going to come up first, and the parts that are cooler and get less sun are going to come up second. So I'm starting to think about that with a lot of things that are going to be more perennial for me, especially like asparagus, mint, some herbs like cilantro and stuff like that I don't necessarily know if they will be definitely perennial, but I'm going to try to get them to naturalize because we eat a lot of cilantro. Alright, so the composter is filled back up. I actually chopped down all my asparagus fronds and used them as a lot of my greens going into the composter along with those leaves. I did not wet it all down yet. I don't I usually try to get it wetted down, but I just don't feel like it today. So what can you say? I did throw a pumpkin in there. I smashed up the other ones. I'm gonna let the squirrels come and feast on the pumpkin seeds, and then once they're done and these have broken down just a little bit, I'm gonna throw them in. And the asparagus bed is put to bed. So what I did is I chopped off all the fronds here, and I put a light layer of leaves on top. This is not a heavy mulch layer. This is really just to cover up the soil so that squirrels don't come and dig. I know you don't have to technically chop off your asparagus fronds, but I did because I knew that some of the roots had gotten kicked up by squirrels digging in here, and so I wanted to get it kind of covered up a little bit better, and this was my only season to do it. So I chopped them all down. I covered up the roots that were exposed and kind of redug a couple, and then I put a light layer of leaves on here. This is not to prevent against frost or anything like that. This is just to make it so that squirrels see it and don't think, ooh, fresh dirt, I'm going to go dig over here, because they are a pain when they do that. So that's how I use a lot of leaves. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Take a look at your surrounding area and look for things that are weeds like this one that have chosen to grow in specific spots, and ask yourself, why are they growing there? I'm walking around my whole yard today and I'm thinking, what's the little scenario here and what's the little scenario there, and why are certain things deciding that they want to live in one spot? This is the only place in my whole property where I have this plant, and it's obviously thriving. It's right next to my chimney on the south facing side, and nothing else really does well here. My evergreens got completely beat up this year during the winter, and they haven't really fully come back, and the rest of the soil is totally dry, hard, and compacted underneath them. But this little weed is doing great in that little corner. It pays, I think, to look at these things. I'm now considering, maybe should I extend this and put a bed over here? Just extend that all the way. Maybe the chimney is going to capture some heat and make it so that it warms up in the sun and keeps some things a little bit warmer. But who knows? But that's what I want to leave you with. Take a look at your garden, look for all the niche spots, and see if there's a little spot like here where the wind's going to get broken, and what might thrive in that little area. Hope you guys are doing wonderful. Have an excellent day.